feel like this is so weird. So today's a very different Sunday because today I've had such a nocturnal day. I am leaving in about 3 hours. It's currently 10 o'clock at night. I'm leaving in 3 hours to drive to the airport because I am going away on a trip. I'm going to Lanzarote and I cannot wait because the weather today has been crap. It has been rainy and it has been windy and I cannot wait to escape this and go to some sunshine. So because my flight is at 5:45 in the morning and I'm needing to get to the airport and it's like an hour and a half drive away, I decided rather than booking a hotel close to the airport to save myself a wee bit of money, I'm just going to drive up in the middle of the night. So I'm probably going to leave here about 1 a.m, 1:30 at the latest, to get myself up there in a decent enough time. I can park the car and just sort of sit and relax and just know that I'm up there and it'll be stress-free from here on out. But because of this, I thought it's best that I don't go to bed, because if I go to bed now, I'm screwed. I will probably not sleep because I'll be so nervous that then when the time comes that I'm like, I actually need to get up, I guarantee I'll be starting to fall asleep then. So it's for the best that I just stay awake and don't bother trying to sleep. Just push on and keep going. I'm quite confident that I'm not going to be tired on the journey. I'm going to be okay. So I keep telling myself. And it's more going to be once I'm at the airport. I mean, the buzz and the adrenaline of it is going to keep me awake. But then once I'm on the plane, I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to sleep, hopefully get some shut-eye, because I'm getting in at like 10:10 and then I have to hang around until about 3 before I can check in. So I'll be at like 1 minute to 3 and I'll be at the check-in desk ready to go, ready to get to my room, and then I'll probably be so tired. Although maybe, like I say, maybe the adrenaline of being away might keep me alert and awake and I'll be like, yes, I'm good to go, and I might just survive on like no sleep. I'm planning on this just being a relaxing, chill holiday. I've took a book with me. I've took the Midnight Library by Lucy Foley. It's quite a chunky book and I'm going away for 4 nights, so I'm optimistic that I won't read it all too quickly. I'm thinking I'm going to try and not read at all on the flight, because I think I did that once before and I read half the book and I realised, oh, that was not a good idea. But because I'm going to be on my own for the entire time, I thought, take a book that's a decent size that I know I'm likely going to enjoy it because it's Lucy Foley and I've read 2 other books by her and I love them both. I'm optimistic that I'm going to like the book. I also wanted something that I thought is going to be quite a chunk. It's like this thickness, I would say. So maybe probably about like 400 and something pages long, that, you know, if I'm sitting reading it kind of sporadically, if I'm having like a chill day where I'm sitting by the pool, or if I'm thinking that might be my first plan, maybe on like I'll pick it depending on the weather, but I'm thinking have a day that I just sit poolside, maybe drink some cocktails, maybe just like hang out at the hotel, use the restaurant, etc. Like just have a very like chill day. But I will have times where I'm like out and about and doing stuff. I don't really have any plans yet. I've not really looked into anything. I'm just planning on like going, having a chill time, enjoying the sunshine, getting out, doing a wee bit of traveling, and then be like, yeah, I did it. So I went away myself for the first time abroad. So I'm really excited for that. And I think it'll be good fun, and I think it'll be great. I took that with me. I've also took a little like journal. I'm gonna start a travel journal, I've decided. So I've got a notebook, it's fresh, nothing's in it, and I'm gonna use it rather than taking my actual diary with me. Like I have a diary that's like a yearly diary, but it has like a page a day. So on that, I just write about my day on it, because I've always kept a journal, and I used to have a journal and a diary. And then at one point, I was gifted a page a day diary one year for Christmas, and I thought, oh, I could actually incorporate, rather than trying to have a diary where I like write appointments and what shifts I've worked and stuff like that, I actually just have like combine that and have like a journal diary mixed in one. So this I thought I could start a travel diary, like a little travel journal that maybe like, so then when I also come back, I can then write in my diary of like stuff that I did that day, but I've also then got another travel diary that I can write like more detailed stuff that I did, and just go with the flow and just write things and write whatever, and maybe do doodles or God knows what, we'll see. But that, I've also took that as well. I'm only just going with a backpack, so I'm actually really surprised at the amount of stuff I've been able to fit in it. My book is the biggest thing, I think. So really now all there is to do is just kind of, I'm gonna tidy up the house a wee bit more, maybe just sit down for a bit. I was gonna debate try and go for a nap, but I think now it is a bit late. I'm thinking if I go for a lie down now, like it could be game over. Like I could make myself tired. Like now that I've had a shower, I'm probably more alert, so I'm probably better off just keeping moving and keeping going, and then once I get to the airport I can chill. I'm also gonna try and not drink too much, so I don't know if I want to have another wee cup of tea while I'm here. I don't want to overindulge, and I don't want to be needing to pee during the flight. So I don't know if this is going to end up being part of a March vlog, or if I'll do an independent solo travel vlog. Maybe I will. I might incorporate the two a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So yeah. So welcome to March, everybody. It's the first of the month. This is the first. Yeah. It's the first of the month. Woo. So, what a nice start to the month. I'm going away and I'm going on holiday, so I'm excited! Yay! Home after all my travels. It was a long old wait at the airport because I was there so early and so organized, and it ended up being pretty quiet, and I basically flew right through security and everything, and my gate wasn't announced until about an hour before the flight, so I had a lot of waiting around. But it was absolutely fine because I got on the flight. It was a lovely flight, actually. I had the row to myself again, which I did on the way over, which was really lovely. I was assigned a middle seat, but I just stayed in it. But it was nice because it was like nice and spacious. I've nearly finished the book, The Midnight Feast. I started it on holiday and I have nearly finished it. I don't have much to go. I honestly couldn't say, maybe like 20 to 30 pages. Really, really good. Loved it. I will talk about it maybe another time, but tonight I'm just gonna sit and unwind and watch some TV, eat some food, and just then try and finish my book. And oh, here he comes. Here he is. Hello. Oh, did you miss me? Did you miss me? He says no. He's eyeing up my plate of goodies. So I've even been so productive. I've got a load of washing on. I put clean jammies on, and we're just gonna sit, aren't we? He is eyeing up my food. My plan is just to sit and chill and relax and unwind and unpack and just, yeah. I can't believe that's it. I can't believe that's my trip done with. It's a weird one though, because it feels like it's been ages since I was actually here. But at the same time, it feels like it swung around so quickly. I wish that I was still in Spain, in Playa Blanca, and just sipping cocktails and just having a grand old time, because at least the sun was shining when I came home, but it is cold. But anywho, I am glad to be home and back home to this boy, even if he doesn't care. Hello. What day is it today, actually? The 5th? Today is the 7th of March. You ready for another month of fun? I am officially back to work today. This is my first shift tonight. I'm working 5 till close, so it's 4 o'clock right now. So I have some chill time. My dinner is in the oven. Actually, it can probably come out now. I just made myself a wee shepherd's pie, and so I'm just gonna sit and have that for my dinner. So, but before I did that, I just want to quickly discuss. I read The Midnight Feast. I read it while I was on holiday. I read the majority of it on the plane coming home last night. I love this. This is the 3rd book by Lucy Foley that I've read, and I loved it. Maybe my favorite? I don't know actually. I think maybe The Guest List might be my least favorite, but they're all 5-star reads. They've all been really good. I think The Hunting Party is quite up there, but that was probably because that was the first Lucy Foley book that I read. I did actually really like this one. I feel like this one had a lot of twists and turns. The only thing I will say that got me a little bit confused was the ages of some of the characters. Like, it was established that like this character is older than me, I'm older than this person, or they say like I'm significantly older, or that's an older woman, that's, and for the most part that was fine until a certain plot point cropped up and I couldn't make up my mind what the age differences were and how that all worked out. I'm not really too sure, but apart from that, brilliant. I absolutely loved it, would highly recommend it. I love a Lucy Foley book because you don't know until near the end who's been killed, and I really love that. Like, rather than it just being a classic whodunit of someone dies, everybody's a suspect, what reason, what could have happened, and you know everything, you're learning about that character and everything else that goes along with it. Whereas with this, you know there's a body, you're just not sure who it is, and you don't know what's been going on, and then obviously it jumps back and forward from like present day to maybe a few days ago, or maybe it goes further. This one went further into the past, which I quite liked. All in all, it was really, really good. I absolutely loved it, would highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure this just came out this year, or like last year. Absolutely loved it, thought it was really good. So it turns out there's way more by Lucy Foley. I had no idea how many she'd written, but there's a few others that I've not yet read, which is, if I can find the bloody page, The Book of Lost and Found, The Invitation, Last Letter from Istanbul. So those are the 3 books I've not read. Oh, or The Paris Apartment, but I've read The Hunting Party and I've read The Guest List. So there's a few there that if I ever see them out in the wild, I'll need to get my hands on them. This was the first one I actually bought new. The other 2 I got in charity shops. It had been on my TBR for a while, a book that I knew, or books that I wanted to read. And I hadn't got around to actually getting them, and then I saw them both in different charity shops, so I bought them then. So I paid like bugger all for them then, but this one I did actually buy new. Loved it, 10 out of 10, no notes. No note at all. So that is the first book that I've read in March, and I read it in basically the span of like 2 to 3 days because I read it while I was on holiday, which I just came back from last night. So now I'm just gonna have my little shepherd's pie. Let me get it out of the oven actually. I think this is like a 2-handed glove job. I actually dropped it after all that. I'm literally gonna just eat it straight out of this just to save like tipping it out onto the plate. So yeah, so it feels a bit weird going back to work because I've literally not been there since like the 25th of January or something like that. No, that was our last day. And I think my last day ended up being something like the 22nd or the 23rd. So I've not been there in a full month, but it feels like so much longer. I genuinely just don't feel it. Probably because as well in January, like we only did a couple of shifts each a week. So I really was not there much at all. Now I'm just like, how do I even work? What do I do? How do I do anything? At least one thing I will say, I am so glad I did decide to go on my little holiday because I was thinking about how I really wanted something to go away, and then like when I come back, if people are asking me like, what were you, like what did you do in your month off? I'll be like, I went away on holiday. And I can be like, I went to the sun, I've still got a little sunburn on my forehead. But you know, like to at least be like, I feel refreshed. I feel like I had a really lovely chillax time. It was absolutely gorgeous. There will be a separate vlog for that, which may be up already at this point. So if it is, I will leave it in the description box down below. But I'm just so, like, I really enjoyed myself. It was so much fun. I'm so glad I did it. And now I'm like, I do feel refreshed to go back to work. So I'm just gonna eat this, do my dishes, and then just head to work. Good morning and happy Sunday. It is the 8th of March. It's springtime, the sun is shining, and I am not working this weekend. Well, I was working yesterday, but I'm not working today, which is quite nice. Although I am on standby because it's been incredibly busy. So just in case they need me, I am technically on standby. Anywho, my parents are coming for a little visit today, so they're probably due up around lunchtime. But before that, I thought I would do some reading. So I'm gonna start a new book today, and I couldn't quite decide what I wanted. I wanted something, I want a mystery, I want an author that I know, because so far, every book I've read so far this year has been a 5-star apart from one, and that was a Frida McFadden book, and it let me down. It really did. So I figured I'm going to read a book by an author that I know, and I've read books by him before. So I've decided to go for The Dream Home by T.M. Logan. I've read The Catch and The Holiday, and I love them both. So I figured that I would start with The Dream Home. I don't actually remember anything about it, and I'm not even going to bother reading the summary on the back. I'm just going to go in blind. So I thought just now I would sit and do a little bit of reading before my parents are due to arrive. Hopefully I don't get called into work, because that would be a bit of a bummer actually when they're coming, because we're hoping to go for dinner as well tonight. Just get like a wee takeaway, but I don't like being on standby. I mean, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to jump in if need be, but also it's a bit annoying because you're sort of like, do I leave the house? Do I dare? But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be absolutely grand. So that is my plans for today. I'm just going to sit and read in between my parents visiting. So when they arrive, they're going to end up being here like all day. So I'm probably not going to get that much reading done. I'm optimistic. I think I liked both The Catch and The Holiday. I think they were both really good, and they surprised me, which is all I ask for from my mystery books. To surprise me, to keep me interested and surprise me. So we'll see how that goes. So it's currently 11:30, so I'm just gonna make a little start and see how much I can get done before they arrive. It is now 9:30 at night. So my parents came around lunchtime and then we went for dinner. Thankfully, I did not have to go into work, so that was a relief. But I have also read the first 50 pages until my parents arrived. I feel like I kind of like it so far. It's not really, I've not gotten that far into the story to know like much about it and what's going to happen. But I'm thinking, even though it's like only 9:30, I'm kind of thinking I might just get ready for bed and read in bed, where it'll be nice and cozy and comfy. So I'm kind of thinking I will do that. I feel like that'll be a nice plan, so that way I can just sit and read to my heart's content and read as much as I want. So I'm hoping to even maybe get like a good quarter of the way into it, even if I could read the first 100 pages. So I'm 50 in so far, and I will do a little bit more reading and then see how it goes. But it seems interesting so far. I'm like, yeah, so far so good. No complaints. We're at that. I feel like the first 100 pages never really make my mind up with a book. Sometimes you know immediately if you're not gonna like a book if you don't like the way characters interact. Things like dialogue for me is a big thing. But so far I'm like, it's one of those books where we've not got into the main plot yet. So I don't know how much or how little I'm gonna like it, or how it's gonna all pan out. So, but so far, yeah, no complaints. So that's first 50 pages, I feel like, is always a good start. If you're gonna not like it, there are gonna be signs from the first 50, definitely the first 100. So we'll see how the rest of it goes. I will forever curse the fact that this bathroom light is connected to the fan. And it's also quite windy tonight, so that means it's going extra. I have just finished my shift tonight. I was working 5 till close, and it's currently 9:30, so that's not a bad closing time. And it was actually a pretty decent night. Oh my god, that noise is gonna annoy me so much. I just like, but then that's too dark, isn't it? I apologize for the crap lighting, but because my light is connected to the fan, the noise drives me insane, especially when it's extra windy, because I feel like the fan just goes bananas. So we're just gonna like get unready. What's that word? Get ready for bed? I don't know. Get unready with me in the half dark. But you know what? This is enough. This is enough. This is like intimate lighting. I could even light a candle. I'm not going to though. So I'm just back from my shift tonight. I was working 5 till close, and it's 9:30, so that's pretty decent to be finished for 9:30. And it was actually a pretty okay night. I thought it might be dead, but actually It was fine. It was pretty good. I had one booking and then the rest were all walk-ins, and it was great. I had a grand old time. So I'm back home now and I'm just going to get ready for bed and do some reading and maybe do a little bit of editing as well. So I'm currently halfway through The Dream House by T.M. Logan. I'm quite enjoying it so far. I don't know how I feel about the main character. Here's a funny thing, I think. See, because the main character's a man, maybe that's what it is. Maybe lately I feel like all my main characters have been women. Apart from The Midnight Feast did have multiple POVs. So it did have, the POVs in that book were mostly, there's one female and two males. No, actually, no, that's a lie. There was two females and two males. So I feel like it was balanced. It kept it balanced, whereas this one is just a male POV, and I feel like actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's been a while since I've read a book with a male-centered main character. Or with a male main character. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I think, because I think all my books lately have been either mixed or it's been females. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm kind of like, I think me and the main character a little bit were kind of not quite on the same page. I feel like in some senses, like, weird shit is happening in this new house, and I feel like he's okay with it in a sense that he is trying to do some digging, but I feel like he's going around things the wrong way. Like, I feel like everything he's doing is just making the situation worse. I can understand him being curious because I'm curious too. I really want to know what the tea is and what's going on. I will say, after discovering that so basically what happens is, in this book, I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically what happens is, a family's just moved into a new house, and while they're unpacking and unboxing and getting organized, Adam, who's the main character, discovers a secret room behind a wardrobe, and in that secret room there's like a little unit, or a big unit, like a chest of drawers, and he pries the drawers open, or he finds the key. It's like a puzzle. He finds the key for them, opens the drawer, and in every single, so there's like 8 drawers, I think, 8 little drawers, and in each one has a random item. So there's like a wallet, a pair of glasses, a key, a watch, a dog collar, like different items, one in each of the drawers. And he's like, this is weird, this is suspicious, or like, this is odd. How weird that they're like displayed in like one in each drawer. There's also an old phone, and on the old phone there was a number saved, so he tried phoning that number first and then left a message with them and was like, I want to reunite the phone with the person this belongs to. Then he ended up selling the watch because his wife doesn't know that he lost his job. So he sold the watch to help pay the credit card bill. So that's gone. And then the dog collar had a tag on it, and he's found the house where the dog used to live. And from meeting the woman who lives there, she discovers that her husband went missing while walking the dog. The dog was found on its own with its collar and its lead missing, and her husband was nowhere to be seen, never seen again. So through that, he's made this connection with Maxine, whose husband is missing, and then he's got the rest of the items that he had let her have a look through them and see if they're things that if she recognizes them, or it's got anything to do with her husband. And she was like, no. Immediately my brain was like, this is the house of a serial killer, and these are all tokens. Like, you know how like some serial killers like to keep something from each of their victims? That's 100%, that's what this is. But Adam's not made that connection yet. Adam's being a little bit slow, and I'm just like, Adam, come on now, hurry it up. You need to get on the same page here, because what do you mean? Am I 2 steps ahead of you? 2 steps ahead. I'm always 2 steps ahead. So I feel like that's the only thing at the moment that's got me a little bit like, I'm kind of like banging my head against the wall, because I'm like, Adam, I need you to like hurry the hell up. Also, he had a random guy come around to the house that was a bit dodgy. He's been getting threatening text messages being like, return all the items, all of them. And obviously he's freaking out because he sold the watch. And that's the main problem. He's like, oh God, what do I do? Because I sold that watch and I can't even tell my wife about that. And how do I return the items without explaining that, I pawned the watch? So he's dealing with that. He's dealing with threats. And like, I am enjoying it, I am, and I'm curious to see how it's all going to turn out. I am still convinced that it's a serial killer that lived in the house, but I can't decide because they've bought the home off of an old man who's like in his 90s, I believe, and he's like suffering from dementia, and he's currently in a care home, so that's why the house was sold, and his son lives in another country. It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm curious, because what's it going to be? Is it going to be that there was a serial killer afoot and like they killed all these people and they're actually like buried in the back garden, and these are all little trinkets and trophies that have to do with the killings? Who's the killer? Was it the old man? Was it his son? Who knows? I don't know, but I'm quite enjoying it. I'm feeling like it is pretty good. I'm only halfway through. It's a bit, you know, but like there are times where I feel like I just want to beat Adam over the head because things are happening and he's not really like going to the police. Like he is and he's not, and it's one of those where the police aren't taking anything seriously, but I don't feel like he's going about it in the right way. Like I feel like he's reporting some things to the police, but not in a way where it's like, you need to make this sound a bit more urgent. But then I suppose it is one of those things where if nothing's happened, would the police actually care? Like, it's like one of those situations where like you say that you're being stalked and they're like, well, he hasn't done anything to you, so. But anywho, so I am enjoying it. I do think it is quite good, and I think I'm gonna just chill tonight and do a spot of reading and do a little bit of editing as well. And I've started, I can't remember if I talked about this at all, I don't think I did, but I have started a travel journal that I want to just document my trips whenever I go away and just document them in a bit more detail, because I do keep a diary that I write in every night, and you know, it's a page about my day and what's happened and what's on my mind. But I'm not always that good. Sometimes you don't always have loads of space to write loads, and I thought how nice it would be to keep an actual travel journal where I can then put pen to paper and write loads and loads about my days. Now I obviously didn't really do much when I was away on my holiday there. I literally just like sat by the pool, I went out, I drank, I ate good food. I didn't really do much in terms of like activities. So like I know my friend, when she loves to go away, like she'll be doing a little bit of everything. She'll be doing all the touristy things, she'll be doing whatever she can get her hands on, whereas I'm like the opposite. I'm very chilled, but I thought it'd be nice to just document in greater detail my adventures and write a bit more about stuff, like what I did, what I had, and all that jazz. And then that way I can just scroll through it every time I'm like, you know, if I want to read about my travels, and it's something to have as a little keepsake for forever. So I think I might keep it as like my sort of like solo travel journal. I don't know, like I don't, like if I just go away with like my friends and it's just like a chilled holiday, like I don't think I really want to write about that because it's not that exciting. I feel like I want to keep it more for if I do like either like solo adventures, or maybe I go on a trip that's like kind of more cultural. So like say I'm in a nice city or town and I'm doing things like going to museums and galleries and those kind of activities, I think I'll keep it more for that rather than like your average like girly drinks holiday. So I'm gonna finish writing in that. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get ready for bed, even though it is only 9:30. But you know what, I've been getting into a little routine of getting into bed quite early, and I think it helps me because the later I go to bed, though I like being in bed, I like reading in bed, I write in my diary every night, I'll go on my laptop and I'll maybe start editing videos or watching YouTube videos or just like scrolling through my phone. And like the earlier I go to bed, the more time I can have to do these activities, that then when I feel like I've done it for like a couple of hours, it's only midnight. So then that way that's an acceptable time to go to sleep. Whereas if I'm going to bed really late, like beyond 11 o'clock, and I'm still on my phone till like 1 in the morning, I'm just like, that's not that good for me. So I'm trying to cut down on my screen time. I really am, especially TikTok. TikTok's the big one, especially in the mornings. Like I can just sit and doom scroll in the mornings and it's not great. But anywho, so I'm just gonna get unready and have a little cozy night in.